Hello there, thank you for opening my video. Today, I want to change the way you look at business forever. This talk is directed to people in business, people who think about going into business, people who work for businesses. And from my perspective, I think it should be anybody who has anything to do with business. Because as far as we're concerned, from cradle to grave, we all have something to do with business. But the talk I'm going to give here today is going to be primarily on fundamentals of business survival. My name is Tony Puckman. I'm a business consultant, a marketing consultant, business strategist. I help small businesses develop their markets. I picked this topic today for a particular reason. I was reading in the New York Times the other day an article that said 95% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. It gave reasons for the failures. But that was a significant and important fact. 95%. If this was the total number of businesses that went into business today, they're predicting in 5 years, this, half a finger, 5% is what's going to be actually survive. And that's really, really significant. So I did some research and came up with the reason for this. Most businesses do not understand the concept of a business model. And that's what my talk is going to be about today. Business model, business modeling. I want to start off explaining what a business model is by giving you an illustration. In the early 1900s, there was a company out of Boston, Massachusetts by the name of the Gillette Razor Company. Gillette was a new company, and they just invented a razor, what they call a razor. The razor consisted of two parts. You had a razor blade and a razor blade holder. Gillette manufactured it by the hundreds of thousands, and they were ready to go to market. But I would point out to you at that time, what occurred for business was manufacture, sell. Manufacture, sell to distributors who will sell. That was the model. They didn't call it models at that time, but that's what actually happened. So Gillette wanted to do something different. Gillette decided, let's give it away. Give it all away. So they gave away hundreds of thousands of razors. It was a risky move. But people started snapping them up like that. And there's a good reason why. Would you like the idea of somebody putting a straight razor to your neck, somebody you really didn't know? But wasn't the thing. I think people gravitated to that because it was the best thing that since sliced bread, maybe. So Gillette actually captured the market, became an international multi-million-dollar company with that one business model strategy. Today is known as the freemium business model, or a few years ago it was known as the bait and hook business model. Now let's give a more academic definition of a business model. Steve Blanks, professor and business expert, wrote a book, The Startup Business Model. And how Steve Blank defined a business model is the rationale behind what an organization uses to create, deliver, and capture value. An interesting definition. Create, deliver, capture value. Pretty much what they were doing in the 1900s. The only difference was the capturing of value. So I want you to note in that definition that Steve Blanks wrote, there is not one mention of the word business, business planning, or anything like that. So you probably ask them, what is the relationship between a business model and a business plan? Let me explain it this way. You can run a business without a business plan, without even ever looking at a business plan. You cannot run a business without a business plan. And a business model is intangible. That's the reason it's not known about. The intangible thing is, what do you actually do? What are the activities? What are the things that you do to develop business or generate revenue? This is what a business model is. And like for the most part, it's hard to pin down exactly all the things that you do because a business does so many things. So now that you will have a better understanding of what a business model is, I want to introduce you to something, a new concept. Actually, was created by a gentleman by the name of Alexander Osterwalder. He created what we call the business model canvas. And he wrote a book, The Business Model Generation, that explains the business model canvas and how it works. But what did Mr. Oswaldo did, he took the invisible and he made it visible. You know, I would have nominated that guy for a Nobel Prize because he has helped so many businesses all over the world and he has given it away free. He helped so many businesses all over the world develop a business model and develop a business that has some longevity, or at least they can see how long their business could be in existence. And this is an important, I would say, concept, a really important concept to grasp. So Mr. Oswaldo developed this, and what he did is he identified the 9 areas that are really important to a business. He said your value proposition, what you're selling is important. Who you're selling it to, your customer segment is important. The customer relations, how you relate to your customers is important. The key activities, what you do to generate revenue is important. Your key partners, your key resources, these are things that are really important. You also said your cost structure is definitely important. Your revenue streams, and notice not revenue stream, there could be more than one revenue stream for every business. Revenue streams and channels. Now, if you put all these together on a whiteboard, something that you could just, a group of people could look and see and manipulate these things, come up with a better business model. So Steve Blanks developed this, and then, not Steve Blanks, Alexander Osterwalder developed this, and Steve Blanks kind of modified on it and added something new. He said, listen, you know, a business owner sits in the office and says that this is his value proposition, and these are his customer segments, and this is the relationships he wants to have with his customers. But everything that he does in the office, everything is a guess. What Steve Blanks is saying, have them get out of the office, get out of the boardroom, get out of the discussions, and find out what the customer is saying, what the customer wants, what the customer needs. See? And that way you can develop your business model to such a point that is optimized. Now, I hope you have, from this short discussion, grasped the idea of what a business model is and how it is important to any business. I hope it would shift the way you look at business from now on. I also would like you to take a few minutes and get more information on business model generation, especially if you're in business or thinking about going in business. Take a few minutes and go to this URL. It's bit.ly, bit.ly/bizmodgen. Go there, everything is free, nothing will cost you anything, and find out more about business model generation. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope you have a wonderful life.